This segment is brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan, Canada's #1 employee benefits plan, protecting Canadian firms for over 40 years.
Well, joining us for the first time on Our City Tonight, an old friend of mine I've worked with many times. He's here to talk about some interesting trends in the workforce. Ramon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jim.
We should tell you a little bit about you. You are a Chambers plan expert. You've served a number of roles with the plan since 2002 and currently the Regional Marketing Director for Chambers, Plan, BC, and Yukon. One of the things we wanted to talk to you about today, as I said, is just this trends in the workforce. But before we get to that, can you tell our viewers a little bit about Chambers Plan? I should say the full name is Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan.
Yes, certainly. Chambers Plan is a comprehensive benefit program that's been around for over 40 years. And it was specifically designed to service the small to medium business market, which was very much an underserved market in terms of benefit plans back in the day. So they came forth and they put together this comprehensive program so small to medium-sized businesses were able to access and provide their employees with the same quality of benefits that one might expect from, large corporations.
Do you find that's a common thread when you're meeting with businesses that maybe are smaller that say, oh no, I couldn't possibly afford that for my 8 to 10 employees?
Yeah, certainly. It's still, even after all these years, that's still a common thing that we do here, often in the marketplace. And that's why it's wonderful that we can look and tell them that we do have solutions for them, no matter what size. The Chambers Plan will even go down and provide benefits to a one-person firm, even if it's a sole proprietor.
Okay, which kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today. I want to throw some stats out here. One of the things you mentioned to me was that a large majority of employees surveyed believe that a well-being is more important than salary. Now, we all want to make as much money as we can, but explain a little bit about that, the Equality Benefit Program, and what this can do for the employer and the employee.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it can be, a benefit program is a great tool for both the retention and for recruitment of employees. There is, in some recent surveys, 69% of employees that were surveyed said that they did view their employer in a more positive light if that employer was providing them with benefits.
Right.
And in terms of the recruitment, over 50% of surveyed employees did say that one thing that they do specifically search for is details on a potential employer's benefit program before they submit an application or apply for a job. So it is really an important piece of that.
You've been part of this landscape, as I mentioned, for over 20 years. We were saying that, did COVID contribute to this? Maybe not, but what do you contribute or attribute, I should say, this trend, say, from when you started or even 10 years ago?
Yeah, well, certainly since COVID, there has been a labor shortage here in BC.
Right.
So employers really have to offer the right things in order to attract those employees. Employees really have a lot more choice and they're in a position of power right now when it comes to applying for jobs. So again, having that benefit program can be really something that does attract them to the business or keep them around.
I'm kind of a uneducated guy when it comes to this. I have a small business with Lita, but what I found fascinating was when you broke it down for me the other day about talking to an employee and saying, here's what I can give you raise-wise next year, or you could go to another option in terms of your health care or benefits. Talk about that, because I found it amazing when you broke it down to me, how advantageous it is. You think right away you want to go for the increase in the pay, right? But it's give a little explanation about putting money towards a benefit plan versus a raise.
Yeah, certainly. Well, one would think that the majority of employees would automatically go for a raise, but in fact, again, the majority of employees surveyed, in fact, it was somewhere around north of 60%. Did say that they would prefer to have a comprehensive benefit program over a $5,000 a year annual raise. Companies may think initially, oh, well, this is going to cost a lot of money, but in fact, offering a benefit plan can be financially advantageous for both the employee and the employer.
Yeah, break that down again. That's fascinating.
So let's take the $5,000 raise, for example. If the employee receives a $5,000 annual raise, the employee on that, they will have to pay WCB, EI on that, and of course income tax.
Right.
So really that $5,000 might, depending on their tax bracket, only put between $3,000 to $3,500 in their pocket at the end of the day. And the employer, on the other hand, in addition to giving the raise, they also have to pay those payroll taxes, WCB premiums, EI premiums, CPP on top of that. So it's really, it costs the business more than $5,000, and the employee doesn't receive anywhere near that $5,000 in their pocket.
Right.
Now, on the flip side of that, by redirecting that $5,000 towards a benefit program for the employee, the employer is going to save on all those additional payroll taxes, and the employee, the vast majority of those premiums that the company is going to pay on their behalf are tax-free.
Right.
And in addition to that, the employee is going to be able to access literally thousands of dollars of tax-free benefit, chiropractic, physiotherapy, dental work, orthodontics, prescription drugs that is going to be provided through the plan for them and their family, which in many cases is far going to exceed the $3,000 to $3,500 they might actually net in terms of a raise.
And companies, I don't think they don't think long term, long game enough in business. And you take that approach which you just described, it can also cut down on absenteeism. People being sick, again, things you don't think of long term.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The Canadian economy currently loses over $16 billion due to absenteeism in the workforce. So having a comprehensive benefit program, that's going to reduce the absenteeism within the workforce, and it's going to increase productivity. It'll keep people at work, reduce the absenteeism. If they do get sick, they're going to have access to the treatments and the medications and whatever they need in order to get better and get back to work and being more productive.
This is great stuff. And for people that want more information, it's chamberplan.ca.
Yes, correct. They can go to chamberplan.ca. There's some information about the benefits that are available. And they can also look in there and request a quote by just simply putting in their postal code. They'll be directed to one of the exclusive local experts in their area that will be able to take them through the...
And we should say too that don't think because you're a small business you can't afford this.
Absolutely correct. Like I said, the Chamber's plan was specifically designed for those small to medium-sized enterprises, right from 1 employee to 50 is our target market, but we certainly do have companies that exceed 50 employees as well. It can be a great fit for the larger firms, but the core market is that 1 to 50 employee market.
That's good stuff. We'll have Ramon Solinas back on our show in the new year with more great advice. We thank you for coming here today. Appreciate your advice.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you.
This segment was brought to you by the Chambers of Commerce Group Insurance Plan. More than 30,000 small to mid-sized businesses choose the Chambers Plan to protect their employees.